Hi all, it's currently August 21st at 9:03 a.m. in Taipei, and this is my last day in my quarantine hotel. And yeah, I'm going to Penghu today too, so I will get picked up at 12 o'clock by a taxi, and they're going to take me to the airport. And my flight to Penghu is at 1:40 p.m., and it only takes an hour, so I should get there around 2:40, 3 o'clock. And then it's a 15-20 minute ride to my apartment, and I'll be living with three other girls, and they are ETAs and ETFs, so it'll be a good experience and very exciting. So I'll get to update you on that when I can. But today I'm going to talk about days 2 and 3 in Taipei. I was really busy these days, so there's a lot to unpack. But before we begin, let's have a little applause for the outfit. This was a dress I wore, and it's really nice and airy, light because it's really hot. And I had to put my hair up because it's really hot in Taipei, and I have like long, thick hair, so it gets really hot on your back, and it makes you like 10 times hotter. So I've learned to wear my hair up a lot of places. But these were two pictures outside of my hotel. So on the left hand side, this is my hotel. It's Hotel Orange. The picture doesn't really do justice, but it did say Hotel Orange on it, and it was like a little orange building. So I am mistakenly wrong from like my first video, I think, because I just had to get my sense of bearing and like sense of awareness that I didn't really see it, and it was dark out. So yeah. And then on the right hand side is basically a block down from my hotel. So they do have like an H&M, they have a Nike store, Under Armour, they have Adidas, and I'm pretty sure they have like Lululemon and all, but I didn't see that. I think it's a little farther from my hotel. And then this was one of the universities I saw. It's really big. It was on both sides of the street, but this is one of the main buildings. And then this is a junior high school, so this is grades 7 through 9. And then this is an elementary school, which I'll be teaching in, not exactly this school, but I'll be teaching in an elementary school, and this is grades 1 through 6. I do want to make note that, especially at the university and like the junior high schools, they're heavily guarded. They have like security officers or like police department. I'm not too sure what they were called, but they're at like different entrances, and they have big gates and like barbed wire so that you can't get over unless like you're supposed to be there. And they have guns, so they're heavily armed and guarded, and you have to show your badge to like get in. So I thought that was a really big cultural difference between schools in the US and here. And also, they do wear uniforms in some of the, especially the junior high school that I saw that was like an all girls school. They were wearing uniforms. And this is just on one of the streets that I was walking down. Like I said, scooters are a big thing here, so you typically see them lined up on the side of the road. And so, me and a girl I met here, we went adventuring, and this is one of their like fresh markets. This was the entrance to it, and it was really an eye-opening experience. They have like every fresh fish you could want. They have shrimp, they have clams, oysters, they had some lobsters. They're just kind of laying there out, and people are coming left and right, trying to buy off of them. They have a bunch of fresh fruit. I saw dragon fruit, pineapple looked really good. Also, they had like a bamboo juicer there, and they were making like bamboo juice. I didn't get to try it, but it looked really cool. I'll have to try that at one point if I can. And then they have like every meat you could want, and like chicken. I saw like a pig leg. I thought that was pretty different, weird. I don't think I would try that, but yeah, pretty eye-opening experience. And you also have to think that it's really hot outside. Some of it was on like an ice, or like a fan was on it, but still, it is really hot out. And then this is another place. It was like a local memorial park. And they had like a bunch of gardens and a bunch of buildings. I like the architecture of it. I just thought it was really pretty. And the pictures don't do justice. These are really big buildings. And then this is one of the parks we saw. Thought it was really pretty. And then this is another local park I went to by myself. I had my Starbucks and I was just sitting there looking at all the different architecture and like the palm trees and the different birds and fish. It was really peaceful and really nice to start my morning. This was also at like 7 a.m. I wake up really early here because you have to get out before it gets really hot. And I'm typically back in my hotel at like 1:30 to like 4:30, 5:30 because I haven't adjusted to the heat yet. But on this day, I stayed out till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was pretty cloudy out, so it was bearable. But I think if the sun was shining, I'd be really hot. And then this is just that building close up, really beautiful. Very speechless when I was walking to see this, and just like looking at the glory of it. It's really beautiful. And if you ever have the chance to come to Taiwan, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend to go to any parks you can see because they are beautiful. And then this is just some of the sculptures that they had. I'm not too sure. I couldn't read the Chinese explanation of it, but just thought it was really pretty. On the left hand side is like a stage. They have a bunch of seating. I'm sure they have like bands and different artists that come here. And then on the right hand side was outside of one of the restaurants, just one of their statues. And after the park, I went to the Taipei Botanical Garden. This is the science nerd in me. As most of you know, I really don't like, I hated plant diversity and all that in college, but when you're just there and looking at all the plants, it's a lot better than when you have to study and get quizzed on. So I was able to take it all in and I was really interested in it. So I'll just let you look at these pictures again. I'm not too sure of like every species and all of that, but the pictures were beautiful. On the left hand side, this was like a big open garden of the plants, and they're everywhere. I have a video, I posted it on my Snapchat, but I was just like so mind blown that these plants are just everywhere. And there's a tree and another plant. Um, in the botanical garden, there's different sections where you can go and they'll tell you like what this section is. So they had like a section on just ferns, they had a section on just succulents, which I was in my glory there. I also called my sister because she's a big fan of succulents and like plants and all of that. So I had to show her that. And then they had like a section on bamboo, which I didn't know there are like 30 different kinds of bamboo. And I just thought one of these trees was really cool to show. And these are just some of the paintings that they have in the botanical garden. Really beautiful. Can't read Chinese yet. Hopefully I will at one point, but just really pretty. Like I said, there's one of the bamboos on the left, another plant on the right. And I thought on the left it was really pretty. I'm not too sure if I think they're flowers, but I didn't see them open, so I'm not too sure what they are. But and then on the right, it was just one of the ponds that they had. And then I went to the succulent area. I love all the different succulents. I think they're really pretty. So I was here for about a good like 30 minutes. It did take me like 2 hours to walk through the botanical garden, which was really crazy. They did have different signs pointing. I'm pretty sure I went through like one of the areas like twice, but I didn't pick up on it till I got to the end. I also got my first mosquito bite, which they are no joke. Um, it was huge by the end, and it still kind of hurts. But I should have brought like bug spray. I didn't do that. I'll have to get that at the store. And then I wound up at a museum after I went to the botanical garden. I don't know how I got here, but I just kind of said, let's go in and see. And if they stop me, I guess I'm not supposed to be here. But yeah, so here's one of the videos. You can also pick up some of the language in the background. I have to make note that everywhere you go, they do check your temperature. They have like a little screening process and you put your like forehead against it. They take your temperature and then they give you hand sanitizer in a lot of places, but they don't check like a COVID vaccination record or any of that, which I thought they were supposed to do, but apparently not. I think that would be more of a hassle, and this is just a lot easier. But I found out that this was a museum and it was more of like a kid focused museum, but I was gonna go in and like see what it's like. It was cute. And this was just one of the areas. It's based on John Hare. He's an illustrator, and they were talking about space in this one exhibit and how he used like cheap artistic material to make his exhibition and all of that. So yeah, it was very kid focused, but I'm a kid at heart. I thought it was really interesting. I was like at all seeing the little kids there too, and they were playing, and it was cute. And then this is just another area. I spent a lot of time in here because it was nice to get out of the heat and in the air conditioning for a little bit before I get heat stroke. And I was walking around, and I thought this was very interesting. Anywhere that they were doing construction, they have these big green signs, and it basically said what the construction project is, like who's doing it, who's the contractor, how long it's going to take, who's the manager. And then they put like any complaints or suggestions that they had. I don't know who determines this, but I thought it was very interesting that you can like call and ask about this if you really wanted to. And this is a lot different from the US. Like they're usually just building, you don't know what it is, and here they give you an idea of what it is. Sometimes they have like the blueprints of what it's supposed to look like and all. I also went to get sushi. I have been waiting to find a sushi restaurant. I was supposed to go like 2 or 3 days ago, but I went at like prime dinner hours and it was really packed. And this place was mostly Chinese based, so I was a little nervous to go in when it was really packed because it does take some time for them to like understand that I only speak English. I don't know a lot of Chinese yet, so I have to like dumb it down and be able to translate for me. But I went in at lunchtime. I think I went around 11 o'clock, and this is like an all you can eat sushi place. It goes on a conveyor belt. So I'll show you that here. And what they do here is you take the plate if you want it, and they have chopsticks at your table. Eat it, and depending on how many plates you have, it adds up to a certain amount. The waiter or waitress comes and they put that on your check, and then you take it up and you pay for it. But if you didn't see something that you liked on the conveyor belt and you wanted something else, you just put it into the tablet, and then it gets like rushed to your area. It comes on like a different conveyor belt to your area. They did change the tablet in English for me, so I was able to understand it. Again, they're really nice here. They really try to accommodate you if you don't know Chinese. And then this is some of the yummy drinks I had. On the left was boba. I never had it before and really good. It was caramel flavored. It's very different when you try the balls at the bottom. They're really good. And then the right was chocolate soy milk. I never had soy milk before, and it was really good, really fresh. Highly recommend. And then I thought this was interesting. This is one of my lunches from the hotel. It was like spaghetti and clams. It's not something you would usually get if you were in quarantine in a hotel in like the US, but this is one of their typical meals here. And I was really hungry that day, so I was like really excited to have pasta. I haven't craved pasta that much since then. And then I decided to go out to one of the restaurants because the sushi place didn't work. And I was just walking around and I was like, well, let's try a restaurant. So I went in and they sat me at the table, and it was in English too. So I was able to decipher like what I wanted. And I just got like a bento box style. So it was rice with soy sauce and grilled salmon with some miso soup, some kind of meat. It was like beef, I think, or yeah, I think it was beef. I'm not too sure. It was really good. And then pickled vegetables. And in the middle there on the left hand side, I don't know what it is, but it was really freaking hot and my mouth was on fire. So I didn't finish that, but I ate everything else. And I have to note here that I never feel bloated or like gross after I eat a meal. It's very healthy and not a lot of like added preservatives in their food. So yeah, it's really nice not to feel like gross after you eat a meal. And this is another thing that was really different from the US. So I didn't understand at first why I would leave some places and they're like, "Oh no, here, take your receipt." And I'm like, "Oh, like I'm just gonna throw it out. Like, why do I need my receipt? Like, just keep it or throw it out." No, here receipts are entered into like Taiwan lottery systems. So if you can see where like the 109 is, that is like your lottery number, and they draw them at certain points. And if they match, you can win up to like 10,000 NTD. I thought that was interesting because I could buy something for like, you know, 30 NTD and I can get entered into a lottery. And they have different chances at different points. I'm not too sure how it works out yet, but I just thought that was really interesting. A lot different from the US where you have to buy lottery tickets to be entered. And I didn't know about this until I was on the street and some guy came up to me and he's like, "Oh, do you have extra receipts?" And I was like, "No, I don't have receipts." I didn't know what he was asking for, so I was just like, "No, I don't have any receipts." I did have a lot of receipts, but I was like, I don't know, I don't want to make any problems or anything. So I just said no, but it makes total sense why he was asking for receipts. But yeah, that was my adventure for a little bit, and I'm excited to go to Penghu today. It'll be a different surrounding. I'll have to get used to everything there, but I do take scooter practice on Monday and Tuesday because I need a scooter to get to school, or else it's going to be like a 3 hour walk. It's only like a 20-minute scooter ride, but yeah. So pray for me that I pass that. Also, shout out to B Platoon. I miss you guys. And you've all been asking for a shout out. So here is your shout out. I miss you. Please don't forget about me. But other than that, that's my time here in my quarantine hotel. Thank you, Taipei, for giving me a great time. I will be back here on Wednesday and Thursday and possibly the weekend because we have a conference here and we're going to meet all the other ETAs. So that'll be exciting to get to do a little bit more adventuring here that I didn't get to do. But yeah, other than that, it was great, explaining my time here, and I hope you're having a great Saturday night. I still have to get used to what day it is. Keep forgetting that we're a day ahead. But yeah, Have a good one. Bye.